What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review today, covering the final day of the America's Tacticians Cup. This is, like I've said before, technically the Tier 2 circuit, but these are still very stacked tourneys. I mean, if you look at our top 10, we literally have Malala, a world champion here, Kai Wang, who is very often near rank 1, top 5 on ladder almost the entire set, Dank Memes, who is somebody who is absolutely, destroyed in ladder and in tournaments over the past few sets, Kiyun down here, me first or 8th. I mean, this is a stacked final lobby, and these are just, the NA names that I'm mostly familiar with. Tropical, another player who I've, seen around, but not somebody who I feel like has really had these kind of insane tournament performances. But also shout out to LAS and BR. 2 people from LAS in the top 8, 2 people from BR in the top 8. So we're kind of getting to that spot where there's this America's, we got players from all these different regions coming together. Before I would say that America's, is carried by an A, and I mean, it still is a little bit, but a lot of really great players. I mean, we saw with Michael winning the first Tier 1 Circuit Cup. I mean, it's crazy. Today, I do want to focus on the person who did win it all, Dank Memes, 46 points on the day, so quite far ahead of anybody else, actually. I mean, if you look at this, there are only a few people who even had a chance to catch him going into the final game. Tropical is one of the only people who actually could, because I mean, this is a 6-point lead on 3rd place. It's crazy, and I mean, you can see why. Look at his scores: 1-1-1, then a little bit of a, just a few games where maybe it's not as easy. I actually took a look, and these are the games where he did have to play level 8 style TFT, so a 4th and a 3rd in level 8 style TFT. I think it's very good. A 6th, his only bot for the day, and then finish strong with a 1st. So I thought, let's watch Mr. Dank Memes here. I mean, he's a very fun player to watch, somebody who is certainly like a rising star. It's only been a few sets where I feel like he's really, really, truly been competing, and I've been seeing his names, and in those sets, he's been doing very well, and I feel like he's one of those players that probably thinks of himself as somebody who deserves to be in the Tier 1 circuit and just didn't make into it. And so he really feels like he has to, prove himself here in Tier 2. And I mean, he's doing it with performances like this, actually just kind of smurfing on everybody. So start off here with a Gnar plus a Mundo start. I think, if this was the last patch, you would be over the moon about this start. You would immediately power up the Gnar and look for Golden Edge. One thing that Dank Memes doesn't do is actually power up and look for that Golden Edge. And I think it's just because the number of spots where you end up playing Golden Edge Gnar is actually a lot lower these days, because of the fact that there is no you're not excited to play Ash Comp or anything like that. So yeah, he's actually going to hold on to these, because you do run the risk, right? Imagine we power up this Gnar and then we decide that we are going to play a crew reroll game from here, and we hit a Civ or 2. Well, all of a sudden we either have to sell that Gnar, which is that's not a Gnar getting us to Gnar 2, or we have to do something else. We have to burn a power up remover. So I think this is actually smart to not power up and look for Golden Edge here. We do though get drop the entire Gwinsu's Rage Blade, which is quite interesting. First Augment here, Raid Boss Double Trouble last second save. I mean, I don't like this Raid Boss Augment very much, outside of Shen reroll with the hero augment last second save. It's an okay augment, but Dank Memes has his idea set on a very specific comp here. You can see he actually calls it in chat right up here. He calls Jin, and he is going to take this Double Trouble here. So this is actually ooh, he does say Knuckle Dusters as well, which is kind of hilarious. You could actually go Knuckle Dusters and slam the Gwinsu's Rage Blade, but he rates this comp this highly that he is going to go for it here. He is going to power up the Gnar, and he does end up getting the Golden Edge, which is kind of hilarious. We are also allowed to make 10 gold here by just chilling here. He is also going to make the Gwinsu's Rage Blade, which I think he's not actually very happy to make this Gwinsu's, which is funny. In previous patches, you would be so excited to make this Gwinsu's, but Gwinsu's is it's a shell of its former self as an item. You still build it in a spot like this, because what else are you going to do with Rod? But yeah, we can see the team fighter here, and it's a pretty basic idea when you play this comp. You are going to play 2 Mundos, 2 Jins, and 3-star them and have a very good time. The idea is that this comp fits together very easily. You can very easily just play Mundo, Jin, Gnar, fit in eventually a Zac and an Aatrox, and that can just be your board. And you can feel very good about that. Maybe you can play more Juggernauts later, but in general, this is not a board where you need to go super, super deep into the verticals to feel good about them. You can be quite happy with just playing, I mean, you get a ton of traits in. We've seen people play this kind of group of champions so many times where you play this board, you get the Aatrox, you get the Jin, you get the Zac, and I mean the traits work together so nicely that once you start pushing levels, I mean your life becomes so easy. So this is going to be the idea. And yeah, Gwinsu's Jin, used to be the hotness on this guy. I feel like it has actually gone down a lot in priority just because of nerfs to Guinsoo's. It was always kind of the BIS more in this Mundo style variation of the comp because Mundo plays for really, really long fights. I feel like, you know, the stats, I think even prior to the Guinsoo's nerfs, didn't actually like Guinsoo's gen that much in the crew version, just because in general, like Mundo can play for insanely long fights. This version, you know, not... this version, you know, you play for very long fights. The crew version, not so much. I have to take Jin with belt on carousel here. I mean, the biggest thing is this is attached to a Jin, which is very nice. Going to allow us to, you know, get a very strong board here if we actually... I mean, you could level here. I wonder if Dank Beams is interested in it because you still get to make 20 gold with a level here. You do get to be stronger. I don't know how close we are actually to our first golden edge proc. The biggest argument for not leveling is that, you know, if we are close to our golden edge proc, we could make 30 gold here with it. And yeah, we are. Okay, we were literally one auto off. So Dank Meme's going to opt to make the 30 gold here. I think it makes a lot of sense here just to guarantee. Feels a little bit bad that we don't get to hold on to Vi, but I'm still like, I mean, are we even going to play the Vi? I mean, you could just go that forward plus 5i. We'll see if he wants to go for it. I know the kind of, you know, standard variation. I mean, oftentimes you can play for Vi 3 just because you end up in a spot where, you know, you have like Knuckle Dusters and something like that. That can be Gen Reroll. So we'll see if he wants to play for the Vi or not. But certainly, obviously, the Gen and the Mundo are going to be the play. But yeah, I mean, this is a comp where I feel like, oh, and he actually goes for the level this round because we're already making 30 gold. It's not really a big difference. We're not going to make 40 this round, so we might as well level here. I like this a lot. Even though it's not like we have a huge streak to play for, but I mean, we're making 30 gold with or without leveling, so might as well level here. Get slightly higher odds of picking up some, you know, like some Gens and Mundos and things like that. So yeah, I like it. But yeah, just to talk about this comp more, I think this is one of the more niche reroll comps this patch. You know, yesterday we kind of highlighted the Kale reroll comp. You know, I think a lot of people know, you know, Zyrakan is really strong. Heavyweight Mals, though, have I even done it? I should probably do it. I did a heavyweight Mal spot review, yeah. So I think people know those, but especially in a reroll meta where, you know, there might be, you know, some people going Zyrakan, some people going other stuff. It's really nice to know how to play these more niche lines, these lines where you need maybe double trouble to end up playing into them. But if you get double trouble, you feel really, really good being able to just, I mean, have a line that you can play that is very unlikely to be contested, right? Who is going to contest you in Jin Mundo? It's quite unlikely. So yeah, I think these are the most important things to do because like you can't always have a Zyrakan line. This is something that I've been thinking about a lot this patch where reroll is so dominant. When you have a great Zyrakan spot, you play it and you feel great, but you can't have a great Zyrakan spot every game. So being able to play for good placements in those other games is of the utmost importance, I would say. Our item slams are pretty easy here. LW plus Warmogs. I mean, it's just very easy to make both. So I think we do make those. Wow, this is an interesting augment take here. I mean, you could grab something like an All the Shimmers, go for like Gold Collector on a Jin. I don't think it's actually that great on him. Magic Roll, I think, is just a solid option in general, though. I am very excited for a portable forge here. I mean, there's so many good artifacts onto Jin. Obviously, Fishbone's fantastic. Sniper's Focus, pretty solid onto him as well. So I do think we can actually even pull up the Explorer page here and just throw Jin Mundo into Planner here and look at Orn items, but I do think this will probably be the pickup here. And items wise, so there's actually a lot of fun stuff here. So I know Innervating Locket is okay on Dr. Mundo. It's not like the craziest thing of all time, but it's good on him. It is a tad bit awkward. You really would like to get to some resist item last because Innervating Locket plus Warmogs means you're going to have very, very low actual resist in this spot. So you really hope that you do get to some kind of resist item down the line. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the look at the stats, they actually, yeah. So Fishbone's obviously fantastic. Gold Collector. Actually, the Gold Collector set's pretty good here. Luden's really good on Jin as well. And yeah, the sets do really like Innervating Locket and the Indomitable onto this big old Dr. Mundo guy here. So, I mean, look at the stats. It's a pretty easy Innervating Locket. I mean, there are fun other options. Talisman of Ascension, and you play for the world's biggest Dr. Mundo, but yeah, maybe we shouldn't forfun it in literally one of the most important games in this tournament. Roll down here and hit the Jinathan 2 and the Dr. Mundo 2. A little bit sad, actually. I mean, we go to 20 gold here, but we don't hit the extra copies. You know, you want to be able to play double Mundo on this board. You want to be able to play double Jin on this board. We don't actually hit. It's going to be a big question for Dank Memes here. One, you know, how much, if at all, we roll here, and he is actually going to roll deep here to look for some dupes here. Finds another Vi. So this has to be the board for now. Oh, this is quite tragic, actually. I mean, he could roll to 10 here, but I mean, Dank Memes is doing something very smart that every TFT player should do, is he's scouting his matchups here and kind of deciding, do I need to actually roll deeper here? I think the Xayah board looked pretty scary that he was scouting there. But a board like this, stuck on Nico 1, basically no upgrades, Smolder is their backline with no items. We're always going to beat Spencer in this spot, so we don't actually have to worry. We don't actually have to roll deeper here in this spot. So very smart of Dank Memes to scout and see like how valuable is it actually to roll here in this spot, and opts to say it's not that valuable to roll, and we get rewarded. We fight somebody pretty weak. Sword or Glove going to be the pickups here. Yeah, Sword really nice, GS fantastic, IE fantastic, DB fantastic onto Jhin. So I do think this is the best take we can get here. You know, Glove similarly can be IE, can be Guard Breaker, stuff like that. But what, yeah, once again, I think the person we're most scared of is Malala. France B also looks pretty strong. Ooh, I would be tempted to roll here, but it looks like we're gonna greet it and say we don't need to roll here. I'm really surprised actually, but maybe he thinks just with Innervating Locket on Dr. Shmundo, we're strong enough here. I mean, this I think is the weakest person out of everybody. They do have a Tesla coil, but you know, only proc onto 1 unit, not too bad. And Yuumi is a lot weaker on this patch compared to last patch. So we clear this guy. Once again, rewarded for not rolling here and going to continue the streak. Pick up another Gnar 2, which is nice. And yet now going to roll, does find the Mundo, still get to roll a 30. Is it yeah, I love standalone so much on this unit, and I mean I feel like the value has to be insane here with just everything that we've got going on, all the HP. Unstoppable is nice, but I do yeah, I do think the standalone value is just so good. Maybe if we had like a Gargoyle, you could build Unstoppable. But okay, we rolled at the perfect time to spike versus the Xayah board. We'll see if we are stronger than Malala because he did push level 7. Isn't actually playing a... I thought, you know, I saw Xayah 2 with items and I thought he was going to play for Xayah, but no, he's actually playing like... What is this, like Jinx or something like that? Because, I mean, he's level 7. He's not looking for the Xayah 3. It must be that there's like another Xayah player. But yeah. All right, I mean, a beautifully played stage 3 gets us to 87 HP, win streaking here. The other question that I was posing in my head is, when do we get off of Gnar? I think the answer might be right now. We've gotten a golden edge proc. It showed 19 out of 85 there, pretty far away. Ooh, these are some... Take me his face. Looking at these items. Like, what? I mean, these item drops are awful. So... The question has to be, would you ever reforge full blue buff here? You could make Adaptive Helm. It's not Mundo's best item, honestly, though he is, I guess, going to get more mana generation out of it, which is kind of interesting. I mean, there's so many bad things that blue buff could roll into. I don't know. I think if I'm in tournament here, I'm reforging Tier here and seeing what we get here, and very often building adaptive and then hoping that Tier rolls into like sword, bow, or glove, and then I can build a Jhin item here. But we'll see. And then the rod is going to hopefully be like heel cut or something like that, but we'll see here. He's going to reforge the rod. Oh, he made the... Oh yeah, so he did go for the full reforge. Ends up hitting even Shroud with the LW mate. Oh, dude, Tank Memes is such an expressive player. But I mean, the upside is... Oh, interesting. I was going to say the upside is we can make Gargoyle here. And okay, yeah, he is going to make Gargoyle. Throw the second Even Shroud onto the Dr. Mundo. We're getting wrapped a little bit by the doggy, but it's fine. They're going to re-aggro onto the Mundo here. I mean, honestly, I've seen worse. Honestly, it's pretty bad that we rolled Even Shroud with LW made already, but getting to the component for Gargoyle is really nice. Okay, so a little bit of a high variance play from Tank Memes. And it's so funny. We ended up hitting Pandora's here, but like... I don't think you care that much. I mean, Salvagement actually sounds quite good, right? This can actually help us fix our items. We can turn this into, you know, maybe like a guard breaker plus some kind of regular tank item. So I think this makes a lot of sense here and gives us good odds of finding a 3rd gen item here, right? Very likely that we're going to... Oh, he's thinking about re-rolling it actually and going for Heroic Grab Bag. Yeah, you're going to say, you know, we're so close to hitting this stuff. We might as well just take Heroic Grab Bag and spike here really hard. We hit Mundo. Sadly, combining the Mundo actually pops everything off. And yeah, we are going to use the last couple of dupes here. Level for the Jhin. Remover in time. Look at that APM. The only downside is our items are still on Gnar this round, but overall a pretty nice pivot. And yeah, just saying the value of the dupes here is insanely high because I can just finish my board off here. It's kind of funny. I mean, the dupes ended up being for Gnar 3. Hilariously enough, he hit on the Dr. Mundo wave and ended up not even really needing the dupes to find the Jhin. But okay, going to... Oh, look at this. Wow. Oh, wow. So this is going to be the idea that you do get double trouble value from Shadow Clone Gnar. I wonder how long we are going to do this here. Yeah, he shadow clones the Gnar. Obviously, getting 2 Gnar 3s on your board is fantastic here. I wonder how long these items are going to stay on Gnar, if he's ever going to itemize the Jin. Just because, like, I mean, the value of being able to shadow clone a unit and get another, like, it's essentially like a Fawn for Double Trouble is really nice. And it allowed us to fit Wraith onto this board, which is very, very cool. Huh. Okay, I mean, it makes sense. It's surprising to me, obviously, because our items are still on Gnar, but like you want to put the items on, you know, the 2 Gnar 3s as opposed to just the 1 Jin 3 here. So itemized, I mean, that's a Varus on Carousel. We don't end up actually getting it. We don't really get anything that we're happy about. Yeah, so we have to just take Cloak here. He's losing his mind there. But all good, I guess. And looking at, I mean, what? I mean, like we could have taken Gunblade, I guess, is potentially what he's freaking out about so hard here, which I mean seems fine enough in this, but I don't think I'm down to unmute because he's doing so. Oh my god.
And then, okay, so I just start going, and then I think this close to go like clack from my Gnar. So the thing is like clack Gnar, and then I'll just be on Jin, and then make 3 times.
Okay.
That sounds good.
What did he?
Fuck, I was going for it, man. Oh my god. Oh. Fuck. It was on my side. It was on my side. Fuck, I was going for it, man. Oh my god.
Okay, I honestly don't really know what he's saying.
No.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really know what he's saying there. But seems to be upset that he didn't get the Varus, and also, you know, is saying that we can still turn the sword into a Jin item. And yeah, I really want to see where this Shadow Clone ends up, because I mean, this is part of it, is that like you get to field 2 Gnar 3s on this board without spending a unit slot on them, which is very nice. Means that we can fit this board right now. And so this could mean that we just stay Shadow Clone Gnar the entire game. That downside is obviously we don't have a power up on our Jin. But I mean, Gnar, getting 2 Gnars, I mean, it's also just makes a lot of sense with Double Trouble because both of them are benefiting the AD of all your units. They can like buff up each other. So yeah, a lot of good stuff going on right here for Dank Memes, and still 10 streak, 87 HP. You can just see the power of this board and how strong he is. And just with, I mean, even with Econ Augment, right? You know, he took an Econ Augment, which is, I mean, it spiked him really hard this stage. It means he's going to cap a little bit lower, but it's not even necessarily true if he can get to stuff like Varus, or, I mean, I doubt, you know, obviously we're not playing for Vi 3 at this point. So I do think, you know, the max cap is just going to be add Varus and just, you know, add more snipers and have a huge board later, but we'll see here. All right, last items coming out of the chickens here. Get a belt here. I mean, sword can be DB, certainly. We don't have any heal cut, so I imagine we're going to see a Sunfire. So, I mean, it could be DB Sunfire Kraken, I guess. You could also go for something like a GS, but then that turns your items into Sunfire BT. I do imagine we will build a Sunfire here, but we'll see here. Yep, gonna move items from Gnar at this point. Gonna put the Krakens onto Gnar. Yeah, gonna still triple item there, and the DB goes to Jin, and then we do make the Sunfire here, and look for a different power up here onto the Dr. Mundo. Finds Standalone, puts it back in. This is kind of hilarious. Ends up going Selfish. Oh, and doesn't actually level in time here, which probably not a huge, you know, downside. I don't think there's anything that crazy that we're fitting onto this board. He's thinking of, you know, playing like random Rise on this board. But yeah, digging for, hopefully, I mean, it's kind of interesting. I do like these Mundo power-ups a lot. I mean, he is at this point where now that he does have the Gargoyle, I do think Unstoppable is quite high value. So maybe that's what we're digging for. We'll see. I mean, he doesn't have any more digs. So I think we are just going to stick on Selfish for now, which is, I mean, it's like, it's fine. It doesn't seem like amazing to me here, but fine enough. I mean, having a built-in Gwinsu onto these units is, or built-in Gunblade onto like basically your hold board is pretty cool, especially with the Gargoyle. And just, you know, the longer that Mundo stays alive, the longer he stays alive, because he will keep himself alive as you get further into the fight. This is a crazy fight, by the way. Kind of looked like our backline was going to get exploded, and then they ended up hopping all around with Luchador and end up surviving there, which is, yeah, kind of crazy. I mean, this is our board at this point. Yeah, he can swap this in, and Ops do make this swap. The difference is we lose out on the mentorship bonus from Rise, which, I mean, mana on attack, pretty useless on Mundo, and obviously useless onto our Jin, and not even that great onto Gnar either. So yeah, I mean, pretty useless, and we do get heavyweight onto this board, which yeah, it doesn't matter that much about the heavyweight units, but you get extra HP onto your entire board, which is pretty cool. I mean, I do think we'd obviously prefer to play more snipers, but we just haven't really seen them. Next gen item here, I mean, IE looks amazing if we could get there. If we can't get that, what are we taking? Ugh, I mean, I guess QSS, yeah, it's kind of yucky. I mean, it's a worse Guinsoo's Rage play, though. I mean, the CC immunity is not even bad. Like, I mean, it is actually valuable versus like the Jarvan boards out there. So yeah, all right, and we're actually in a full level here. Get the Jinx in. It is also Stargrinding on this board, which is kind of hilarious. And this is gonna be our board for now. Could fit in 4 Wraith right now if you wanted to, but I do like the value of just getting Sniper in on this board better, I think, because it's buffing up your huge double Gnar 3 here. So yeah, the Gnar's doing a lot of work. Can we keep our 14 streak here? We can. Man, I mean, I was really thinking, oh, Dr. Lee Sin here. I mean, he's actually that crazy on this board here. And there's the Varus, which must fit onto the board. Going to Executioner Lee Sin for a second, and then ups to, finally we pick up the Braum here, and we're just going to play 4 Lucha, 3 Sniper. Yeah, I mean, this looks perfect. Get the Lucha in. I mean, honestly, it almost feels like our main carry on this board is the Gnar. Also, the Prowler's Claw Jace, kind of horrifying, but I mean, the Luchador just doing so much work. And yeah, I mean, look at the damage chart. The Gnars are doing so much damage, and wow, top 2 locked in. It's 5-7. You guys ever have games? I had a game the other day where it was 6-1, and there were still 5 people alive. It is 5-7, and there are 2 alive, but I mean, it makes sense when all of the air is just sucked out of the lobby, right? 87 HP, 16 win streak here for Dank Memes. I mean, it makes sense that the lobby is so low because he's been killing everybody. All right, we're gonna roll down here, try to pick up the Braum 2 here, holding on to the Lee Sin. I guess just for fun in case we hit Lee Sin 2, but like even then, what are we doing here? And we are going to get the Redeer in on this board as just a better Juggernaut. Getting mentorship value onto our entire board is good. All right, I mean, this is a very low cap level 8 board from Senbon here. I don't know. I mean, just goes to show the power of this this Soul Fighter board. I feel like Soul Fighters are kind of insane. But I mean, I think Dank Memes has this. I don't know how we would not have it in this point. Also, ups to sell there. Andy is just going to play the Lee Sin to allow himself to play for super max cap. If we do find a Lee Sin 2, we can play for it. And he's saying that a Lee Sin 2 is going to be better than the mentorship bonus. Though, I mean, honestly, I don't know that he even needs to play for higher cap. I think this will be the last fight, unless some crazy Samira stuff plus Gwen stuff happens, which can happen. But there's so much protection in the Luchador. So yeah, I mean, a really nicely played game from Dank Memes. I think from item slams to his units fitting to playing the Gnar power up the entire game, not getting baited by moving power up to Jin, saying I'm just gonna play 2 Gnars on this board and get an insane value out of it. I think it was just a pretty much perfectly played game from Dank Memes. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch, my Metafy, all my links down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.